Does she let you pick her up? Honestly, kind of depends on the day. Let's go see how she's feeling today. Elle, wanna come out? No, I didn't say I want to come get some food. I said you want to come out. Today I was giving my pet Dinosaur a bath when she looked at me and asked if I minded giving her a little bit of privacy, so I left the room and gave her a little bit of time by herself.
5 minutes later.
Well, now I know why she wanted privacy. She used it to escape. Luckily, she didn't knock over the trash can, though, and getting her back into her bath was easy enough. This time I did close the door all the way now that I know she's finally big enough to jump out. And after giving her some time to soak, I came back after about another 10 minutes to pull her out of the water before she gets pruny. Just kidding, reptiles don't get pruny, but how weird would it be if they did? They do get cold though, so we're gonna dry her off with this towel, partly so she stays warm, but mostly so she doesn't track water all over the house. Plus it makes her look like a cute little babushka lizard.
Hey, what's happening, Herpers? So I'll get right back into that shorts compilation, but first I just wanted to let anybody who was expecting the video on the scariest venoms know that that video is still coming out this week, but I got sick last week after writing the script for it, and I could not for the life of me film a video that didn't look like I was actively dying from one of the venoms I was describing. So I'm doing much better. Today's the first day I don't feel like I'm actively dying. Hopefully I don't look like I'm dying anymore, but that video is still coming out on Saturday of this week, so hit the subscribe button if you don't want to miss that. And with that, we'll get back into the shorts.
That's a boa constrictor in my shower. But the biggest hassle about this is I can't get the door open all the way when I take this out because boa constrictor will rip that right off the wall if I leave it there. This is actually a plant the neighbors gave me. They said that it really likes humidity, so put it in the shower when you shower. I figured it wouldn't mind if I wasn't the one showering. I was giving Cleo, little Clee, a bath today. How you liking it, Clee? Her eyes are looking a little cloudy. She should be shedding soon. But anyway, what the hell, Bath & Body Works? I thought stainless steel wasn't supposed to rust. What gives? Check this out. My biggest snake shed her skin last night, so now I'm going to get that shed skin out of there and cut it open to give you a better look. The skin. I'm going to cut open the skin, not my snake, you sickos. But check her out. She is looking beautiful, and it looks like this was a really clean shed. And now I will get to work unrolling her shed skin. This took a long time, and this is actually sped up 5 times the normal speed, just because of how careful I have to be to not tear the skin while I'm unrolling it. But as close to down the middle as possible, I'm going to cut this open so we can see the inside of the shed, because when snakes shed, their skin actually ends up inside out by the time they're done with the process, so by cutting it open, we will be able to see more of the pattern of her scales on the shed. This part is also sped up because of how slow I had to work, but check it out. When it was all said and done, I think it was worth it because this looks really cool. Now I'm going to put it outside to dry off and scare the neighbors. If you enjoyed this, like and subscribe for daily videos, and so you don't miss out on seeing Cleo, my red-tailed boa constrictor, now that she has shed her skin and is looking her absolute best. That is so cool to see. Welcome to the world, little buddy. And as cool as it is, it's not even the only example of how snakes give live birth. Rattlesnakes, other boas, and most vipers all give live birth, or at least a form of pseudo-live birth called ovoviviparity. Ovo meaning egg, vive meaning live, and viparity or viparous meaning birth, so essentially egg-live birth is a form of pseudo-live birth where the snake keeps the eggs inside of their body up until the point where the baby inside of them is fully formed and ready to hatch. And this ends up just looking like live birth to us. But if you're a snake, it comes with a really big advantage, and that's that you don't need to find a safe place to lay your eggs. You don't need to worry about a predator coming along and eating them getting dried out or washed away over time, because they're with you, and as long as you don't get eaten by something, your eggs are going to be okay. Which of course gives ovoviviparous species the huge advantage of not needing to worry about something bad happening to their eggs. So a lot of you absolutely hated and told me that the omelet that I made for my tegu wasn't even an omelet, so I'm going to give it another try by making a strawberry omelet for my pet Dinosaur today. After pulling out some of the eggshell I accidentally got in the pan, I gave it a quick whisk and then left it alone because you guys told me you're not supposed to stir omelets. And while I left that sitting, I got to work chopping up strawberries for Elle's omelet. Speaking of which, time to check back in on how that's doing, and that looks a little more like an omelet than my last attempt. All right, I'm gonna add the strawberries now and fold it over and flip it, and bon appetit. Now there's no way you're gonna hate on this omelet. That looks so good, I wish it was mine.
Really?
No. Well, the real judge of whether it's good or not will be Elle, my Dinosaur. So let's see if Elle enjoys it. All right, she went for a strawberry first. That's to be expected. She loves her fruits. All right, going for another strawberry. Let's see if she goes for some of the egg. If she finds out it's stuffed with strawberries, I think she'll be real excited. Well, there you have it. The strawberry omelet was a big hit. Let me know in the comments how I did on the omelet this time, and like and subscribe to share more breakfast with my pet Tegu. Thanks for watching. got you some blueberries. That wasn't for you, Jada. That's it, come on out. Oh, don't get afraid. You're the one stepping on the shoe. Today I decided to feed my pet snake outside of her enclosure to make cleaning her habitat a little bit easier on me. She's friendly enough, but when she can smell food in the air, all bets are kind of off. Now I left her around here somewhere. Where did she go? Ah, there she is. So I started by taking Cleo out of her enclosure and setting her on the floor so she could find somewhere to be comfortable. When snakes are eating, they're pretty vulnerable to attacks, so usually they don't like to do it out in the open. And now is the part of the video I've got to say, if you don't want to see a snake eat, this is the time to scroll on. Thanks for watching. And there's a first strike and a swing and a miss, and oh, there's the second strike. I think she just hit the tongs on the first strike, which is why she wasn't successful, but this is a very small meal for her. Because I'm letting her eat outside of her enclosure, and I'm going to have to move her back up into her enclosure, I didn't want to give her a huge meal that's going to make it hard for her to get out from the bottom shelf of this rack, or just a meal that was so big it would be unpleasant for me to pick her back up into her enclosure. And with that, she has finished her meal, and I'm out of time, so like and subscribe to see how the heck I lure this red-tailed boa back out of this rack system. Pretty much everybody agreed with me that it's okay for me to call this my pet Dinosaur. There was a little bit of disagreement about what I was feeding her though. Mostly from people saying that how I was feeding her isn't natural. So I figured I'd show you, I do get her plenty of natural hunting experience. You gotta be faster than that. Gotta be faster than that. Oh, come on. Come on, little dino. Now you know that's the dog's food area, not yours. That's yours, yeah. Good girl. Where'd it go? Looks like you're doing good with your shed. I'll get you another bath today and help you with your toes. But you're looking nice and shiny. We'll get that tail fixed up in no time. Good girl. No, that's my phone. Don't eat that. Thank you so much for letting me share my Dinosaur with you. If you enjoyed this, like and subscribe for daily videos. Wow, alligators are amazing. If you go back and watch that original video, you can see him throw up that entire chicken and then like nothing, swallow it back down without it ever fully exiting his mouth. And if you think that's impressive, alligators also can eat like that when they're underwater without drowning. And if you want to know how they do that, you have to look at the tongue. Where was the tongue? You didn't see it in the video. And that's because it's in the bottom of the jaw. It attaches to the jaw itself and runs the entire length of the bottom jaw. So that entire thing you see the chicken kind of flopping across as it looks like it's going to fall out of its mouth again is actually the alligator's tongue. And at the back of that tongue, they have something called a palatal valve that can seal off and close the back of their throat. That way, when they're underwater, they can open their mouth and like back there, just completely close it. That's the place where you see the chicken kind of pop out of from nowhere in the beginning of the video. But that's how alligators eat underwater without drowning.
Jump out the bed. All right. Jump out the bed.
This is my pet Dinosaur enjoying the last of her strawberry omelet, but she isn't my only pet. Usually as soon as she gets close to finishing her meal, the dog gets awfully curious about the fun she might have been missing out on, and usually starts to circle us like a shark circling a sinking raft. And while I would never leave these two unattended, they both tolerate each other very well, and I believe our dog has accepted her role as the cleaning crew. She never approaches the plate, she never approaches Elle, my tegu, but she will pick up anything that my tegu leaves behind. I put my hand up there just to make sure that I had a physical barrier between the two in case either of them got creeped out, and the fast movement of my arm going up is what spooked Elle. And you can see as soon as I pulled my arm back and as soon as the dog licked up what was on the floor, the dog got out of the way because she knows the plate is Elle's, and Elle came back to finish her meal.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Occasionally, when honeybees sting you, they will change their mind.
What an awesome video, and believe it or not, rattlesnakes actually do something kind of similar. It turns out about a quarter of the time that they bite, you can get lucky and get what is called a dry bite, where they decide, no, I'm just gonna bite and warn this thing to get away from me, because they don't actually want to waste their venom on us. Unlike bees that do have a stinger for defensive purposes, rattlesnakes have their fangs and venom for food acquisition purposes. And our pets, livestock, you, me, aren't food, so if a rattlesnake has time to think and kind of process what's going on, sometimes they will bite and not inject any venom because they just want you to leave them alone and they don't want to waste the venom on us. That being said, you absolutely need to go to the hospital if you get bit by a venomous snake or any snake you don't recognize, so the doctors can make sure it was a dry bite for sure.